assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Pagheragale, ni hao, tunashumme, washmale, ohai, gazaimes, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shuma chatore, ahl wasal marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very amazing, the very long gone ladies and gentlemen who finally thought that she needs to be back on the show, none other than Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
I'm absolutely great. The spirits are lifted because, as you mentioned, I'm back after what, more than 2 weeks almost?
No, I think it was just a week.
Oh yeah, more or less. Well, it felt like so many days because we usually don't get off air, right? Because of course our job is such. But while I was enjoying my vacations a lot, well, for all those who don't know, this was my semester break and I really decided I should spend it with my parents and my sisters. So I went to Multan. I was enjoying so much, but also kinda I was missing my work.
Oh well, that's great. And I think that for people like us, who are always working, I think that this is something which hits us after 2 days of being off work as well.
Exactly.
And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to be workaholic because you get lesser time to think about stupid stuff in life. And I think that this is something which you really need to learn. You really need to be busy. So Allah please keep us busy for the rest of our lives.
But thank you so much for covering up for me as well.
No problem at all. I'll always be there. The entire team was there as well. And what did you do though? I mean, was it just the semester break or is there something special coming up in your life?
More or less, well, there were so many things I'll tell you, but this was of course a semester break, but along with that I had a long list of things that I had to do, which included starting from, but not limited to shopping.
Okay, well, that's
So well, it was fun, a lot of fun. But I think whatever you do with your family, Shahzad, be it something interesting, be it shopping or, vacationing, anything you do is always fun. And my favorite part, to be honest, was whenever we woke up in the morning, all of us would go out, sit in the sun and have breakfast together, which was, it's a blessing for me because I live in a hostel, ladies and gentlemen. So I was really, really having a good time.
No, but the only thing which I wanted to ask was whether there was sun or not because, because the previous week I was in Multan myself and it was foggy till 12 in the noon.
Oh, foggy as well and rainy too.
Yeah.
So there were hardly some days where there was sun, but it was so much enjoyable, yes.
But that's how South Punjab is.
Exactly. I was going to ask that as well. We were actually in Multan for almost the same time period as well. So did you expect Multan to be that cold? Because I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't expect Multan to be this cold, and then obviously the gas load shedding was at the top too as well. So there was a little bit of problem, but it's all right. I think that it's part of life. But other than that, there's something very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, which I've taken out for you, for all of those people who are out there. It's like how you see your own self, and if you see it the way it is, I think that it's going to be beautiful. So according to Hazrat Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him, said a believer should have 8 qualities, and I've noted down those 8 qualities. So please make sure that once I read the quality out, all you have to do is decide whether you do it or not. So the first one is, yes, that he is dignified in turbulent times. So ladies and gentlemen, how many times in life we come across such situations where we know that things are not going our way. So all you have to be is stay dignified, all right? And then the second one is he's patient in afflicting conditions. Third one is he's thankful in prosperous life. Allah ka shukr ada karte rahe. He's content with what Allah has granted him. He does not do injustice to enemies. He does not overburden friends. His own body is tired due to his efforts. I mean, this is something which should happen to you on daily basis.
Right, absolutely.
And then last but not the least, and people are safe from his harm.
Oh, that's so nice as well. And Shahzad, when we look at these things individually too, I feel like for believers, of course, but even if you have to develop your personality and, become someone that you're proud of, these are the things that you must have.
Exactly.
And speaking of patience, that really caught me because, that is what I talk about all the time. I feel like if you are patient enough to deal with any sort of situation, well, you win at life.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And, the sole reason why I wanted to share it with people was that, while I was reading it, to some extent, I thought that all 8 of them I have him. So the reason why I wanted to do this on the show was to actually ask you, do you think that all of these 8 characteristics I have to be a true believer?
You?
Yeah.
I think yes. Now I have to recall all 8 of them as well. We'll do that after the show.
Well, that's great.
But this is a good thing because self-reflection, ladies and gentlemen, is so important because before someone else can tell you if you're doing something right or wrong, you yourself should be able to identify if you're going to harm someone or not, if you're good enough or not. So do that.
That's great. And ladies and gentlemen, since Shiza is most of the time on Twitter, so, I think I would just want to ask her, whether is this something people are going crazy about on Twitter?
Well, okay, such a long story, but here's the thing. There are so many things people are going crazy about on Twitter. To begin with, on a lighter note, mere paas tum ho, ladies and gentlemen. It's trending ever since, what, so many weeks.
Yeah.
But something very important that 2 days ago and even yesterday, Pakistani fam, including everyone actually from all around the globe, went crazy about. They just flipped out. And I think it was justified. I'll tell you what, United Nations actually posted an opening for an internship.
Yep.
And it was in New York, which is amazing, right? 3 to 6 months maybe, and which was, of course, requiring for a master's degree at least. But the bad thing is, it was unpaid. So here's the thing, Shazad, when institutions like this so big, which guarantee, human rights, safety and everything, when they are not willing to pay the talent or, at least encourage them in some way, I don't know what others are going to learn from them. So everyone on Twitter, I mean, the entire Twitterati went crazy, absolutely crazy. And people were actually thinking as well, I mean, while it's a great opportunity, we would love to work for the United Nations, but imagine for people like us living in New York for 6 months without any pay. It's not just fair.
Yeah, exactly. And may it be anywhere in the world, I think that for all of those people who are providing you with their services, they actually deserve to be paid as well. And the only thing which I would want to speak about internships is that, before coming to this world or, before being born, I think that there should be an internship period as well. For 3 months or 4 months, you do that, and if you pass it, you go into the world. And if you do not, you stay in heaven. And I think every individual would love to fail over there, because that's the kind of world we're living in today, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, today is a great day, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday. It was a little cold. Schools are open. Kids and everybody is just enjoying it. But then at the same time, there are a few parents whom I think that will never learn to behave, because unfortunately, but I have been a witness to such a situation where I went to my daughter's school to pick her up, and there's always a queue, so nobody can kind of overtake you or just come in the queue, because everybody's a parent. They're going to pick their children up, and they won't do anything. But I can see 2-3 mothers driving in the wrong way and creating a chaos, and then shouting onto those guards as well. Please don't do that. I mean, what are you trying to teach your children, that you can actually take a shortcut? Please don't do that. Please,
no, exactly. You're absolutely right, because you're setting an example as well. But since it's Monday and we're just out of a weekend, energies need to be lifted as well.
Yes.
So here's my question for you, Shazad. How is your gym routine going? Are you following it? Also, one more thing. Are you on a diet? Is there something certain that you do for, whatever that you're going through with your gym as well? Because I don't. I wouldn't know what he does.
Okay, so it's not that I diet, but ladies and gentlemen, for everybody who's out there, from my point of view and from my perspective and from the kind of learning I've got to myself, what I've noticed is that, diet is actually 70% of your transformation and 30% is the gym. So for all of those people who just keep on eating everything and then go to the gym, it's not going to do any benefit to you, because of the fact that the kind of calorie intake you're doing, or the kind of calories you're taking in, if you're not burning it in deficit, I think that there's no losing weight. But for people like me, I'm not actually losing weight, I'm maintaining. So I actually have to make sure that I take proper protein, proper fats and proper carbs as well. So it's a combination. But other than that, for today's program, ladies and gentlemen, I have taken out a few of the videos from my gym as well. And we are actually going to ask some experts over here whether I was doing it the right way or not, because going to the gym and getting the right angles is the right job as well. And other than that, if you're not going to get the right angles, you're going to get a lot of different problems. May it be disc slip, may it be backbone problems, may it be muscle spasms, may it be frozen shoulders. There can be a lot of problems. And one more thing, and that is that, while we're on our journey to stay fit, what we do is that we do not know about the kind of shape our bones are in, or whether we have a vitamin D deficiency or not, or whether we have enough of vitamin B12 in our body, whether we have got our thyroid tested or not. So I think that once you start exercising, that's the time when you start researching that how important are all of these elements to make you stay fit. And what is the definition of fitness is something which we'll be asking our experts over here in the studios as well.
Let's do it.
And yeah, they're good at their job, and we were having a conversation just before we were getting started with the show as well. I think that they had quite a lot to share, and so let's see what do they have to say when we're going to ask them who do they consider to be fit. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, with us today, we have been joined by a fitness trainer. She's none other than Miss Tahmeena Kausar. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, absolutely
Great. Welcome
perfect. I
to our
love the
show.
energy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's just fast paced. I love it. Okay. And alongside Miss Tahmeena, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who's a debater, for somebody who's actually a university student. He's putting in a lot of hard work so that he can have a prosperous future as well. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen, he's even won himself a title of Mr. Junior Quetta. He's none other than Mr. Akib Javed. He's a fitness trainer himself. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm fine. How are you?
Absolutely
Absolutely
perfect.
great.
Thank you very much for joining us, people. It's wonderful to have you. So very quickly, to get started, Ms. Tahmeena, what are the latest trends in fitness industries and who would you refer to or consider as fit?
The main, the things are like, it's high intensity and cardio workouts, like, as everybody was talking about, like CrossFit.
Yeah.
CrossFit or functional training is the same. So it's up to you, like how you play with it. But high intensity and short term workouts are like more in whether you're using MMA, like mixed martial arts in it, whether you're doing boxing in it, whether you want to just have the rounds of like circuit training or Tabata training and different sort of things. It helps you in a way that, you have to work out for a little bit of a time, like 20, 30 minutes, and then you train full body, and then you get the results.
Yep.
Because, before few years, like, people had the time, like, they were going to the office or going to the business or whatever, and then they can spare the time to go like 1 hour to the gym. But now people are complaining because people are actually doing 2 to 3 jobs.
Yep.
I actually work in 3 gyms right now.
Right.
So we never get the time. So this is the thing that, like you only have to have a workout, which is like high intensity,
Okay.
having all the exercises like squats, lunges, push-ups, whatever, and then you do it.
Right, but sorry, Shazad, I'm cutting you off. But I actually want to further your question that you already asked.
It's happening to me after such a long time that I
That
wasn't
you
really
enjoy.
used to of it. But it's great. Go ahead.
All right, so Tahmeena, when we're talking about physical fitness, a lot of people are going crazy about it, which is a good thing. I love this era. But here's the thing, when you're talking about physical fitness, is it a holistic approach or is it just, like Shazad mentioned in the beginning of the show, is it just workout?
Actually, I agree with him that, the main point is like, when people don't know their medical history or something like that. So I will relate it to that.
Okay.
First of all, whatever your goals are, whether you want to build muscle, whether you want to lose weight or gain weight or whatever,
Right.
you have to have the assessment of your physical health.
Exactly.
right.
Whatever, like, thyroid or whatever it is, you have to know. And then after that, you have to go through that, you have to have a plan for workouts.
Yeah.
It's not something that, you will lose weight like 10 to 15 kgs in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, even if you do that, that's not healthy.
And that's
all
not
right.
sustainable
Thank you for
as
saying
well.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the only thing is that, like you have to have a plan, you have to know your body, and then you need to know your lifestyle, and then, go for the workout, whether you can go to the trainer or you can do it yourself.
Exactly.
Even if you're doing on your own self, like for example, I have to lose weight, I am 80 kgs right now, and I want to
right.
lose weight, like, okay, I don't have the access to the gym, and I don't have much of the fancy equipment, what can I do? If you're going to the social media, please, this is my request to all of the people, like, in social media, thousands and thousands of people are watching the same video. It's not going to affect on every single person.
Right, there's
Exactly.
different types, right?
Yes. So you have to choose, like, for example, if I'm obese and I have no idea about the exercise. So like, okay, I have a tummy fat or lower body or upper body, then okay, choose the workout,
Alright.
which includes all the body muscles, write it down. Write it down. Then of course the technique. Okay,
Exactly.
if I'm doing the wrong squats, if I'm doing the wrong lunges, if I'm doing
Right.
the wrong push-ups, so instead of helping, it's actually making it worse.
Yeah.
I'm getting, prone to the injuries,
Yes.
and I'm not getting the same results.
Exactly.
Okay, so Tahmeena, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put Shazad to test over here. No, well, not right now, of course, but we do have videos of him in the gym. So we're going to play them right now and ask the experts over here if he's doing the right, let's say, posture or not.
No. I think that yes, we are going to do it, but we should do it in the later half of the show. But right
Okay.
now, what I want to do is that I would actually want to ask Akib over here whether what Tahmeena is saying, whether he agrees with it or not. Because at the same time, when we talk about functional and high intensity workout, I don't think that this is how things work out with people who actually hit the gym hard and want an Instagram body, because everybody, ladies and gentlemen, they want to see this muscle, they want to be ripped
Right.
and whatnot. But high intensity workouts, I don't think that they will allow you to have more muscle. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir, you are right. I totally agree with you. Basically, the point is whenever someone who use the Instagram or Facebook or other social media, basically he or she, the aspirant of a gym, basically what they do, they just use the social media and they watch the video.
Yep.
They don't see the history behind that video because
Exactly.
history does matter. The person who is doing the gym, who is hitting the gym very hard,
Yep.
they actually don't know what's the details and what's the nitty-gritty of the gym.
Exactly.
So basically, one should have a strong plan of action basically, in which you should have a better plan of action in which you want to hit your different muscles.
Right.
Like in my case, what I was, I was following the routine prescribed my Ustadji basically, Ishaq Sherani, who told me to go for a bicep on Monday and triceps on Tuesday and so on.
Yep.
So, but I still remember his saying that don't go for shrugs. Basically, when I was in second year on my intermediate level, he told me that your body is not that much strong.
Okay.
So I personally don't recommend you to go for shrugs.
Okay.
This clearly indicates
Yeah.
that shrugs and some other exercises which are only meant for the experienced person because they require good angle.
Exactly.
So basically the technique which is required, my Ustadji didn't see unfortunately in me, and after 2 to 3 years I went for a shrugs because that day then I decided that I am that much experienced, so I should go for shrugs.
All right.
So this is how the workout plan is concerned. Back to the question of intensity. So basically, intensity is something which is very which is very difficult for nowadays.
Yep.
People are basically going towards shortcuts. So the workout is something. Gym is something in which you don't have overnight success.
Yep.
Right.
So
I wish we did, though.
yeah, exactly. So I should recommend to follow a certain plan. So a certain plan with diet, because as you have already mentioned, 70% is the mandatory for diet.
Exactly.
So 30% gym matter.
All
So
right, but Akib, I'm sorry I'm cutting you, but I also want to ask you, in the beginning, Shahzad mentioned you won a title in Quetta. Tell me all about it. How did that begin and what was it about,
Yeah.
so that everyone knows out there?
Sure, ma'am. Basically, my father was in Air Force, so we posted to PF base Quetta.
All right.
So there I met my Ustadji Ishaq Sherani.
Yeah.
So basically he motivated me. He motivated me and he convinced me rather that I should go for competitions on provincial level, on city level, district level.
All right.
So I acted upon his advice and I chose to hit the muscles very hard, and I followed the proper routine, and I had to take milkshakes and but my core interest was to see myself fit.
Yeah.
Because this is what my motivation was. But
Yeah.
with the passage of time, this motivation transformed into the shape of bodybuilding competitions.
All right.
So basically, he made me very motivated, and he supported me in every sense. He guided me properly. He told me the true sense of exercises.
Yeah.
And I went for the Mr. Junior Quetta competition.
And it's
Okay.
great, and you did it very well as well. But
Congratulations.
there's
Thank
this
you.
one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I want everybody to be aware of it, and
Yeah.
that is that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking that all of those people who go to the gym and are bodybuilders are fit, that's incorrect as well. That's wrong. We have come across so many situations, we have seen so many people that they were participating in bodybuilding competitions and they have died as well.
Yes.
And they've lost their lives. And majorly it was because of the fact that, they go for water, they make sure that there's no water left in their body so that they look more ripped. They use steroids as well. I mean, I'm not saying that all bodybuilders do use steroids, but there are people who use steroids and there have been adverse effects and people have died overnights as well. Imagine that the gentleman was actually supposed to be in a competition tomorrow with all of those abs and muscles and pecs and whatnot, and anybody who would see him would say that, he's rather fit. But that's not how it is, and it's just because of the fact that people are not taking that holistic approach which I was
Right.
talking about as well.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do have a question for all three of you, actually, because Shahzad, well, all three of you happen to be physically fit compared to me as well. So, Shahzad, every other day almost I do watch your stories
Yep.
in which you are onto your protein shakes.
Yep.
So, my question is, are they like an essential part of your bodybuilding routine or your gym routine? But hold on to that thought because we're heading out to a very short break. When we come back, we will know if protein shakes are that essential. Good morning.
Not really. यार वो बेटी
Welcome back to Well This Morning with the very energetic Shazad Khan and Shazad Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, on a pleasant Monday morning where we are at least trying to motivate you to be fit throughout the week as well, ladies and gentlemen. And before we went out on a very short break, I actually asked Shazad, along with our fitness experts over here, if protein shakes, well, this is probably a naive question, but I see them everywhere lately, protein shakes. Are they an essential part of your workout and diet that you're doing?
Yeah, well, they're not essential. I mean, and if anybody could actually consume it from their mouth, I think that'll be wonderful as well, and that'll be the best part to do it. But other than that, I think that, you know, these protein shakes actually make your life a little easier.
Okay.
Because we hail from a Punjabi background where there's paratha, where there's mutton, where there's beef, that you will get everything,
Yeah.
but it will still be oily, but there'll be still more fat on it as well. And the cheaper, well, it's not a cheaper solution, it's a little expensive solution, but then at the same time, you know, it's just at the click of your finger, you know, you just mix it and you drink it.
Right.
And what I think essentially for all of those people who are taking it, they know it as well, that it makes it easier and it has a faster result on your body as well. I think that whoever is supposed to absorb it in our body absorbs it really well as well, rather than going into digestion and then going through to the muscles. I think that this is quicker.
Okay.
The results are faster as well. But the only thing which I would love to talk about is that, ladies and gentlemen, that I do even take pre-workouts, and they give you an adrenaline rush and you feel like as if you can work out more than your normal capacity. But then for all of those people who are actually taking these pre-workouts, what you need to do is that you need to get off pre-workouts as well, because other than that, they might not let you sleep at night. You might feel tingling in your hands,
Yeah?
on your lips, and it can be a little dangerous if you overdose on it as
Oh.
well. So very quickly, what's your take on this?
You're exactly right that, like we being trainers, like,
Yeah.
even Aki must have like, using it that, we take pre-workouts and post-workouts.
Black coffee is a good pre-workout.
Yes, but the only thing is like, when we ask the clients to come and have like a banana or apple or something like that, so, it's easy to have like a scoop of it and then use it and come for the, for the workout. But my recommendation for you that, I take like whey proteins and stuff like that, but don't use it more than 6 months.
Okay.
It's written. It's even written on the bottles, or even if you like, you have to have like some sort of like, research before you use it. Even if you take BCAA, or if you use whey protein, or if you're using like any pre-workout or something like that, don't do it more than 6 months and then take a break.
Okay.
Apart from that, like try to, just have like, if you're not a trainer, like for us, like, we look for things for handy, like protein bars.
Yeah.
Like if I'm hungry, I finish my class and I have to go to the next class. I don't have time to have a meal and it's going to be full. So I take the protein bar and I go to another one.
Yep.
So that you have to be careful, like, don't use it more than 6 months, and then you have to take a break or try to have like a normal diet. Protein, your body needs protein, carbs and fat.
Yeah.
Right.
But it depends, like, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to gain muscle, or
Yeah.
whether you're trying to maintain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one basic thing is that, like if you weigh like 175 pounds,
Yep.
you need 175 pounds of grams of protein
Alright.
and carbs
Alright.
and 25% of fat.
Okay.
That's must.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll come back to this where we'll actually going to discuss, ladies and gentlemen, that whether if you want to gain muscle, what you need to do, if you want to lose fat, what you need to do, and if you want to maintain muscle, what you need to do. We'll come back to that
Yeah.
in detail, but very quickly, let's see what Akib has to say about pre-workouts first of all, and then we'll move on to protein. Are pre-workouts good?
Yes.
So one should take pre-workout.
Yes, I do think so that one should take pre-workout.
No, but what I want to ask over here is that is pre-workout only responsible for giving you that adrenaline rush, or does it do any good to your body as well? Does it repair muscle? Are there any more functionalities to pre-workouts?
Yes, there are certain other functionalities as well. Like they basically charge you before going to gym. So I think these are pretty much mandatory for one to go for a gym.
Yeah.
So, but there are certain other workout plans basically which are post-workout diet, and the diet which is taken before going to gym.
Okay.
In my case, what I used to do, I used to take banana shake, and in which augmented with and supplemented with dry fruits, and that diet like that. But after workout, I used to eat grilled chicken or grilled fish. So basically, it is also depends upon the situation or the weather conditions as well. So if we take a case of winters, so we can go for fish as well.
Okay.
But in spring or autumn, we can go for like shakes, juices.
Okay.
So juices are pretty much important. So basically, protein shakes are mandatory because in the, as ma'am has said, we are pretty much busy in this era.
Right.
So we all are doing 2 to 3 jobs or internships or whatever
Even
the situation
studying.
is. Yeah, exactly. So so basically we don't have that much time. So we are totally occupied.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, we have to bring, or we have to take a prescription from a good trainer or a doctor or whatever, and we have to have a good protein shake like whey or mass gainer. So it depends.
That's good. But
Yes.
what you need to say or tell us over here is that Mr. Meena over here said that if you're on protein shakes for more than 6 months,
Yeah.
you need to take a break.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
So everybody needs to take a break. Thank you very much for telling me this, because
Yeah.
for the last 7 months I think I've been taking protein shakes
Oh
and
my
I need to
God.
take a break.
But that-
And how long the break needs to be?
According to me, the break should be, it depends upon your situation. Like if you are going to compete for a competition,
Yep.
like for off season and on season.
Yeah.
For off season, you have to take protein shakes, but
Yeah.
on season, you only your sole concern is to get ripped as soon as possible.
Right.
So it's not mandatory to take shakes in the on season.
And bodybuilders are not, like training or he's right, like, off season and on season.
Yeah.
So they are not all the time like
Taking
drinking
it,
supplements and pre-workout and post-workout. So you have to have a
You know
break.
what,
But I think-
eventually I
yeah.
get 3-4 days off in between as well because I'm traveling. And since, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's talking about doing 2-3 jobs, so I've got a brand new program coming on PTV Sports just before PSL, and it's with the name of Glitterati. Please make sure that you
Oh,
take an eye out.
congratulations.
Keep an eye
That's
out on that as
amazing.
well. But very quickly now, what we're going to do is
We will definitely play the videos, but here's one thing I need to highlight over here. Thank you so much, Akif, for saying that whatever you take, whatever, supplements, whatever you're doing, you have to ask an expert for what you need to take in. Because, Shazad, for people like me who know nothing about it, if I see a post on Instagram, you have to understand it is usually a sponsored post. Or, of course, it is a paid post by a blogger even, someone is telling them to post it. It is not necessary that whatever the article that they're posting about, it might suit you. So please seek for expert opinion, and that is what we're going to do right now. We have some videos of Shazad from his gym working out, ladies and gentlemen. If we can please play them on the screen.
And what we're going to do is that we're actually going to ask Akib over here whether the angle and the technique is fine or not. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that here it is. All right, so yes. So this is a tricep workout where, well, given in all the weight, but what people say is that your back should actually be arched and it shouldn't be on your shoulders. So, Akib, please go ahead. Do you think that this technique is fine or not?
Yeah, I certainly think that this technique is fine, but if you are hitting the triceps,
Yeah.
then your angle is correct, but your posture is little bit moving.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, your body should be erect.
Okay.
And then you should go for the triceps exercise.
Okay, so what we need to do is that we need to stand straight and then pull the bar down.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but it was so
okay.
heavy, ladies and gentlemen, that I actually had to put
Yeah.
my body weight
Yeah,
on
I
it.
could see it, but that was
So that's
amazing.
great. Because usually what I used to do was that I used to arch my back, make sure that the lower body is at one place, and then do it with. So the shoulders need to be free as well.
exactly.
That's
All
what you're
right.
trying to say. All right, so ladies and
We have
gentlemen.
one more video as well, and
Yeah.
we'll see if this is the squats or not. Is it?
Yeah, let's see which one it is. Oh, so this is a leg press. So every
Okay.
time I do a leg press, you see that I cannot take the knee back to my chest quite a lot. And probably
Okay.
it was because of the fact that time my tummy was a little bigger. So do you think that it's correct? But look at my legs, man. They look so slim as well.
But
Yeah, I certainly think you're going for a good angle, right angle. But you need to have heavy weights for for gaining the size in your thighs.
Exactly. Getting your legs bigger, I think, is the most difficult job to be.
I would like to add something.
Yeah, go
here.
ahead.
yes,
One,
I could see you had something.
for your triceps, I'm gonna tell a lot of people
Yeah.
why you want to show that you can lift heavy, because first you need to build the strength in your muscle.
Exactly.
Which is a process.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can use like a drop set or whatever set and something like that. When you do the triceps, you need to have a core strength,
Yeah.
so you can stable.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and very quickly, this is the last video. So
Yes.
I just don't go down because one time my back got operated.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is a good angle for squats? Because quite a lot of people I've seen, they go very down. So and then there's this only one thing which you're scared about, and that is whether you're going to get back up or not.
No, this is actually putting so much pressure in your leg press. When you were lifting the head up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a certified yoga instructor
Yep,
too,
yep.
so I know the posture.
Okay.
When you do the leg press and
Yeah.
you lift your leg up, you're actually putting pressure on your spine too.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Okay. Then when you do the leg press, okay, your angles are fine. That like it's 90 angle or whatever you lift heavy or not lifting heavy, but don't lift your head up.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
supposed to be
right.
back. For the tricep, you have to engage your core.
Okay.
Then you have to work it because you have to feel that contraction.
Yes.
So
Right.
when you're lifting, like you're standing straight and then you doing this.
Yeah.
So it's like coming from here and from here.
Yeah.
And your
Okay.
core is working. When you do the squat,
Yeah.
if you can't do the squat rack, first you can seek for a help
Yep.
with the
Okay.
trainer or whoever is there. You can ask them if you're scared. You can have that, and then try to build the stamina
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
And you're wearing the belt.
Yeah. Always.
All right.
Yes. So this is another myth which I see in the people. First, that what are your goals? You need to know
Yeah.
that whether you want to become like heavy.
Yeah, I want to grow my legs from where they are right now. Yeah, they've grown a little bit, but I think that I have stopped taking the risk of putting on more weight. Now what I do is that I do more reps with lighter weights as well, where I could actually see that I'm actually going down to the ground, doing it the right way as well. So that's what I was trying. But to get bigger legs, it's just so difficult, Does not really matter what kind of exercise it is. I've tried everything. I've eaten everything. the only thing which I'm left with is injecting steroids.
Oh,
And I don't
don't
want to do that.
No. You need to understand, and a lot of people need to understand that, we have genes.
Right.
We can't fight with that.
Yeah.
Akif has a different genes,
Yeah.
you have different genes, me and we have different body types, and then
Alright.
we cannot go big. Like a lot of girls come to me and they say like, I want to be like Katrina Kaif.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't be like that. She's heighted, she have a different bone structure. So this first we need to know that we have our own body.
Yeah.
Then whether you want to have like big legs or small body or whatever, then go for it. Like then you can train, and then techniques are really really important.
Yeah, and one small thing, since you're talking about the neck as well. So, most commonly, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen people using their neck while they're doing the shoulder exercises. If it's, I don't know what do we call it, but, whenever you're doing the shoulder press or whenever you're doing the lateral raises, you're always moving your neck as well.
Yeah.
And at times I've seen and I've witnessed it myself as well, that you feel a little bit of pain. So, what way should be our neck when we're doing shoulder exercises? Should it always be straight? Or do you think that we have this ability, or we can move it, or what?
Whatever exercises you're doing,
Yeah.
as Akif said, like, when he was talking about the shrug thing,
Yeah.
that, like shoulders are not much, like trained. So the
Okay.
thing is like, when you're doing front raises,
Yep.
especially lateral raises are more difficult.
Okay.
Front raises, even if you can do, because you have to lift like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, if you have to use core in every single
exercise,
thing,
yeah.
you
Right.
need to have a strong core, because otherwise your body will swing.
Yeah.
Like, for
Right.
example, if I'm lifting heavy, like 10 kilos or whatever, and I will do
Yeah.
this. But if like you have to take a push. This is what I was talking about in the beginning, like functional training and CrossFit.
Yeah.
When they do the swings, and you must have used the kettlebell,
Yeah.
what they do is like, when they're swinging, they take the strength, they take the jerk, but it jerks is not like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? So every single person needs to, know what they are doing. Like, when you're in the gym, or especially I will recommend a lot of people who are watching us that, like, don't go for easy thing. Like, the person is charging like 200 and 300 and then they become your personal trainer.
Yeah.
You need to have a person, who is qualified for
Yes.
Right. What do you have to say about this, Akif?
I totally agree with ma'am, because we all need a supervision.
Absolutely.
So we should have a trainer which has a good portfolio, have experience, and have a certification as well. Because
Yep.
certification is something which makes you your experience valid, and makes your experience legitimate, I would say.
Outright.
Because whenever, as Shahzad has said, some guys died on the last minute before the competitions,
unfortunately.
and nobody was responsible for that.
Right.
So if you have a proper certified trainer, then ultimately the trainer would be responsible for that.
Yeah, and he
Because-
won't let you die at least,
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
because it's his responsibility to train you,
Absolutely.
not to make you die as well.
No, absolutely.
But
But
why-
Shahzad, I'm
yeah,
so sorry, I'm
go ahead.
cutting you here. But I think you spoke about something that is so important, that we belonging to Pakistani households, not only Punjabi, we are exposed to all sorts of foods, which definitely are oily as well. And well, our staple food, including roti and chawal, I've heard about it. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people say when you have rice, I mean, it bloats your tummy and everything, and it's not probably good for workout. So is this a misconception? Can we really, stick to our staple food and still work out and be physically fit?
And I
Let's
want to
start
add
with
to
you.
this as well, because this is something which I felt myself,
Yeah.
and I felt it from my body and from my muscles, that chapati and rice actually gives you a lot of strength.
Yeah, does it?
Nothing else can actually compare to the kind of strength which is given or provided to your body by the paratha, chapati, or the rice.
Or what about you? Do you believe in it?
Yeah, my point of view is that because it totally depends upon the region as well. So
Okay.
diaspora condition is also concerned. We are basically from subcontinents, and we are used to eat chapatis.
Yep.
So people, if we take a cross Atlantic view, people at America, they are not fond of eating chapatis. So in our case, we feel strength. Basically, we have been inculcated from our ancestors that this is the thing which
That
which
makes you
तो
actually,
strong.
रोटी
yeah,
खाएंगे
actually
तो
makes you
ताकत
strong.
आएगी.
Yeah, exactly. So it's also the psychology comes in. So
Alright.
psychology plays. So, but no doubt, chapatis has carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are very mandatory for building
give you
yours.
energy.
But ultimately, what the bodybuilder's concern is to take heavy duty proteins.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
proteins are basically very important, and vitamins as well. So we can take protein shakes and vitamin shake. So many things are available in the market.
Right.
But rotis and rice are very important. We cannot neglect that, because everything in this world have some purpose. So So I personally think that we shouldn't be ignoring the rice and chapatis.
And that's great. And very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, since we are only left with 5-7 minutes as well, so this is one thing which we wanted to discuss for people. So what we are going to do is we are going to categorize them into 3 categories: small, medium, and large. And for people who want to gain muscle, what do they need to do? People who want to maintain muscle, what do they need to do? And people who want to lose fat, what do they need to do for all 3 categories? Please go
Okay,
ahead.
first of all, whenever you're going for any sort of workout, whether you're building or losing, whatever, first check your medical health. Okay, excuse me. First, you check, like for example, if a boy or a man or whatever, once you know that you're cleared, you don't have any medical history and you're not on medication or something. For example, you want to lose weight, you have to set a plate. Like for example, I'm having a meal, and 50% will be veggies.
Okay.
Or fruits or whatever the carbs.
Okay.
Right.
30 to 35% will be the protein and 15% fat. This is for weight loss.
All right.
Okay. So you need to understand that roti chawal is carbs, fruits are carbs, and if you're taking like any sort of sugar, it's carbs.
Yeah.
Don't just change it like, okay, I'm I'm having fruits and I'm having chai or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything is carbs, so you can't take more than 50% carbs if you're trying to lose weight.
Okay.
If you're building muscle, then your carbs intake is little bit less, like 35 to 40%, and then you increase the protein size as you're taking like the carbs like 50% or 40%, and then you take the fat.
Right.
If you're like you try to gain weight, then your protein intake, like for example,
Not weight, muscle. So we
Muscle,
have to be
yes.
specific over here,
Yes,
because
okay.
weight can be fat as well.
yeah, that's
Right.
true, because a
Yes,
lot of
exactly.
people who are like they are like 30 kilos or 40 kilos and they want to gain weight, so of course they will gain muscle and then they will gain the weight, so their appetite will be more. Okay, first they have to use mass gainer. I always recommend them. They have to use
Only
mass
for
gainer.
6 months, and then you have to be off it for 6 months.
Take
as
a
well.
break, yes.
Yes, and then they use it twice. They have to use like twice, and then they have to use like milkshakes, like banana and dates milkshakes, something like that. And then they have to eat like, if their BMR is like basal metabolic rate, like the calories recommended are like 1500, they have to like go for 2000 or 2500.
Yep.
All right.
So this is a thing that this is the main thing that you have to do. Also, as Akib said, that your workout routine.
Yep.
You have to see, like for example, I'm trying to gain weight, but I'm taking the 5-6 meals, but I'm not training.
Yeah.
How I'm gonna gain muscle?
Exactly.
Not with protein shakes. So I have to train accordingly
Right.
as well.
And that's great. And ladies and gentlemen, right now I think it's about time that we move on to Akib. And for Akib, I've got a question which everybody wants to listen to, the answer obviously. So Akib, we see a lot of people gaining muscle and it's an easy job, rather than getting ripped, which is very difficult. But what kind of workouts would you recommend for people who want to get a ripped body? So they've gained the muscle, they want to maintain the muscle, but they want their bodies to be more ripped. They want their bodies to be more cut, the Instagram body as well. So what kind of workout would you suggest?
For Instagram body mainly, for cutting and for getting your body shredded, it's mandatory. In winters mainly, you can go for a green tea.
Okay.
Go for more and more intake of green tea, because green tea is something which makes your makes you shredded.
Yeah.
So basically tones up your muscles.
Okay.
And with the as a supplementary diet, you can take boiled eggs, because it refines your muscles.
Okay.
It makes your body better and tones it up.
Okay.
So after that, go for supersets and lightweight. When you have a combination of lightweight and supersets, your body will ultimately follow the path of shredded.
Okay.
Right.
Ultimately your destination will be shredded. Your body will be shredded.
Yeah.
So go for lightweight and supersets, and more and more repetitions.
Exactly.
More and repetitions will make you shredded.
So superset anyways will be more repetitions
Yes,
with lighter
exactly,
weight as well.
exactly.
Because
But
you can-
superset, sorry for interruption. Superset basically it changes the weight as well. You have to change the weight.
Exactly.
But in more repetitions, you can go for more repetitions with the same weight.
And that's great. So ladies and gentlemen, whatever you may hope to be, please make sure that you put in the desired amount of hard work and the desired amount
Absolutely.
of food as well. Thank you very much. Tamina, thank
you.
you very much. Akib as
Thank
well for being with us. It was wonderful to have you.
You guys were amazing
And we
guests.
definitely feel a little more fitter.
Well, I really hope so, we do. And for everyone out there as well, I hope we motivated you enough to be fit because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just a trend. I mean, it's not literally about a beach body. You really have to be fit for your own mind, for your own soul as well.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you need to ask further about this, please write us on our Facebook page with the name of
World This Morning.
on Twitter,
World This Morning without a G.
Daily Motion on YouTube.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
And the repeat you can catch at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time. 1, 2, 3. Good
morning.
morning.